joined by Mr. Srikanth, who's an activist. Mr. Srikanth, thank you for making time and speaking to Mirror Now. We're talking about a tragedy that could have been avoided. We are talking about an incident where a father and a daughter could have been saved had the authorities paid heed to their repeated request, had the authorities picked up the phone of those locals who had complained about an oil leak from the transformer. Yet the authorities kept sleeping. They did not pay attention to their complaints, and then it resulted in the death of Shivaraj and Chaitanya. As an activist, how do you feel when one incident after the other, common people of this country end up becoming statistics? Deaths due to negligence, somebody failed to fix a pothole and somebody eventually died. Again, negligence and officials apologizing, government apologizing. It's like an endless loop. What is your view on this? And now, eventually, when the Bengaluru police arrested those two officials, they were released on bail.
I totally agree with you on this. It's heart-wrenching to see event after event unfold day after day, leading to loss of life due to potholes, due to flooded subways, to transformer blasts. The city suffers from a complete lack of accountability and complete negligence. And even more importantly, we know what the source of the problem is. We know who are the culprits, who is responsible. They keep getting away scot-free. What the city needs now is a thorough pegging of the responsibility and accountability. We know who's maintaining these transformers. In fact, transformers have been there on the footpath for many, many years. People have been raising complaints after complaints about poorly maintained transformers, not just this one that lasted and killed 2 people, but many other such transformers. Now, if the loss of 2 lives cannot even force them into action, I think we are living in a banana republic. The people who have been arrested, the officials, they should be punished. And by giving that punishment, we set a very clear precedent for everybody else, saying officials should not be negligent any longer. And if because of their negligence, accidents and, sorry to say this, so many more deaths happening, they just cannot afford, we cannot afford them to let go. So that's my view. It's time that the government starts taking these things seriously, punish the officials responsible for it, set a proper example for the others, and start taking small steps towards making the city safer for citizens too.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Srikanth, for sharing your perspective on this story. We're also getting calls from across the country on this story. Nestle from Mumbai is joining us on the broadcast. Nestle, thank you for calling in. What is your view on this story and the action that has been taken by the Karnataka government?
On this story, Nestle from Mumbai is joining us on the broadcast. Nestle, thank you for calling in. What is your view on this story and the action that has been taken by the Karnataka government? On this story, Nestle from Mumbai is joining us on the broadcast. Nestle, thank you for calling in. What is your view on this story and the action that has been taken by the Karnataka government? On this story, Nestle from Mumbai is joining us on the broadcast. Nestle, thank you.
Viewers, please put your television sets on mute when you're calling us, because that ends up creating a lot of technical issues on air. So whenever you're making a call to us, please put your television sets on mute. So we've opened our telephone lines to the viewers, and we're asking your views on this story, the action, the kind of action that has been taken in this transformer blast that resulted in the death of a father and his daughter. Remember, Chaitanya, 19-year-old Chaitanya, was going to get married. She was coming back with her father after booking a convention center for her engagement. That is when this transformer blast happened. They had to slow down while they were passing by that transformer because of a bad patch on the road. And that is when the blast occurred. The scale, the extent of the blast was such that their bike also got burnt completely. And this is not a one-off incident. In the same case, the locals of the area had been highlighting this issue. They called the authorities on the helpline to say that there was an oil leak in the transformer, from the transformer, yet no action was taken. All right, let me go across to my colleague Revati, who has been tracking this case very closely. Revati, it is very difficult to understand what the family is going through at the moment. The father and the daughter are no more. It is very difficult to get a sense of the kind of emotions that they are going through. Of course, it is a very painful moment in their lives, but what do we know about them? Have we been able to get in touch with them after the tragedy? I know we made a conscious effort not to bother them, not to trouble them, but anything on that front?
We did speak to the family members and father relatives as well. The mother of Chaitanya, as well as other relatives in the family. Now, the mother was, obviously inconsolable at that time. We tried talking to her. We asked her about what the government has done so far and what she expects to be done. But of course, she went on to say that they've announced a compensation. They have sent that money, but that is not going to bring back her husband or her daughter. The love of the daughter, that the government cannot return. So what more can I say is what she said while talking to us. I did speak to other relatives as well. I've been speaking to the locals as well, even after 2 days after the incident. While talking to them, all of them are going on to say that it is an accident that is taking place. Yes, somebody did not do their job, which is why 2 lives were lost. But what more can we say? Because the officials are neglecting their duty. This is happening so often. Transformers that are on the roadside, on footpath, need to be moved to a different place, a faraway place, to ensure that these kind of accidents don't happen. But beyond this, what more can we say? Who is going to listen to us? And irrespective of how much money they give or whatever the government offers, what is gone is gone. The 2 lives are lost. So even if there are arrests that are made, even if there's compensation that's announced, even if money is deposited in our account, that is not going to bring us back the father and the daughter. So in the end, that's all what matters to us. Whether they are going to come back or not, beyond this, they could not say much. Even the locals that I've been speaking to after that in that area, they have been saying that it is very rarely that Bescom actually attends to the complaints or immediately comes and looks at a complaint that they have registered over the phone. Sometimes they do not pick calls. These happen very often. While the officials brush it off as a one-off incident, a rare incident, these incidents do happen very often, is something that they had to say. So yes, I've been speaking to the family post that incident, post the government's announcement of that compensation, as well as the locals around, and this is what they have to say, that in the end, no matter what happens, 2 lives are lost, and it's too late to say anything about that. But at least if these transformers are maintained regularly, if they are moved from places that are so close to the public and public movement, then probably we could avoid such tragedies in future.
All right, we're also joined by a caller on the broadcast, and I believe it's Nestle from Mumbai. Nestle, thank you for calling us. What is your view on this story that we're reporting from Bengaluru and the government action that's followed?
This person should get jail for lifetime, actually. These people are doing nothing. They are just filling their pockets and they are getting away.
Okay. All right. Thank you for calling us with that view on this story. So we are asking our callers to basically express their opinion on the kind of action that has been taken in this absolutely avoidable tragedy. 2 innocent people lost lives because those people who are paid to do their job, those people who were tasked and trusted to do their job, did not do it. There were repeated calls on the helpline that there was an oil leak from the transformer, yet the authorities in Bengaluru's power department, or Bescom, did not take any action. 2 engineers were arrested, but they were released on bail. So basically, no concrete action has been taken in this case. All right, Srikanth is still with us. Srikanth, I would like to understand from you that this is not the first time when an incident of this nature has come to light. This time we are talking about a transformer blast, and it can happen anywhere. It is not specific to Bengaluru. I'm also interested in talking about other civic incidents, whether it is pollution, whether it is potholes. In fact, the courts have pulled up Bengaluru several times, the Karnataka government several times, on the condition of bad roads. A lot of people, innocent people, have lost their lives because of bad roads in the state of Karnataka, especially Bengaluru. And there is a pattern. There is a pattern that says that the authorities who are in power, the high and mighty, they just don't care about normal people, about ordinary people. They just want taxes, but in return, no services, no assurance of safety.
Yeah, so what is trauma for a family has become statistic for the government. And that's the tragic reality of the city that we are living in. Despite these repeated deaths happening, as I said earlier, it could be due to potholes, due to lack of a skywalk. I remember an accident that happened where a 17-year-old girl lost her life trying to cross the road in the absence of a skywalk. And the funny thing in all these things is, despite all this, when I say funny, I mean it in a dark way, the brides still continue unless there is money paid. They don't want to do projects. They don't want to maintain. So everything is finally boiling down to money, corruption, misgovernance. So we are caught in this endless loop of incident after incident happening, the authorities continuing to remain callous about it, complete negligence, and the system just failing to punish the culprits at the end of the day. As you rightly said, monetary compensation, they'll keep announcing these monetary compensations. How is it going to bring back the life? It's just not going to.
Right.
So more than these monetary compensations, we need to set in place certain actions that will prevent such incidents from happening in the future. Tomorrow it could be you, it could be me, it could be our families. How long are we going to put up with this? How long are we going to tolerate this? So my view is these officials who have been proven to be negligent, they need to be punished without any compunction. They need to know that the law has a long hand. It will catch up with them for all the negligence.
Okay.
It should set a precedent for everybody else. Without that, we are going nowhere. So through your channel and through other sources, if we can push the government to take strict action and give exemplary punishment to these people, I don't see how change is going to come about in the future. We are going to probably talk 1 week, 2 weeks down the line about some more laws.
Absolutely. And I'm also joined by another caller, Simon, who's joining us from Bengaluru. Simon, thank you for calling Mirror Now. You are from Bengaluru, and this unfortunate tragedy also unfolded in your city. What is your view on this? And we have been speaking to a lot of locals. There is a sense of deep resentment. There is a sense of anger. There is a sense of dejection that we are mere statistics for our government. If we die, nothing will happen. We have been repeatedly complaining about several issues, but nobody pays heed. What is your view on this entire incident? Simon, are you able to hear me?
Hello.
Yes, Simon, please go ahead.
Good evening, madam.
Good evening. Please go ahead.
Very sad to know this incident. Hello.
Yes, I can hear you very well, sir. Please go ahead. What is your view on this tragedy and the action that was... Yes.
View, if you could please get these people, put them behind bars first. My first view is that.
Okay.
Hello.
All right, Mr. Simon, thank you for calling us. We are facing some technical issues, but more or less, I understood the gist of what you were trying to say, the context of what you were trying to say. You were demanding strict action against the officials who were guilty of criminal negligence. This is an effort made by Mirror Now to put the spotlight on a story that has been ignored. But on Mirror Now, we have relentlessly pursued it because every life matters. You matter. Your issues matter. Here, in this case, 55-year-old Shivaraj and 19-year-old Chaitanya, his daughter, died because some officials in the Bengaluru Power Department did not do their job properly. This is the story. This is an effort by Mirror Now to talk about their story, to talk about their family, the family that is devastated, that did not deserve it. Imagine a family that was preparing for their daughter's wedding, but because of some officials who did not do their job, they had to face this. We will keep demanding questions. We will keep putting the authorities on spotlight, and we'll keep demanding accountability for them. It's time for a short break. Stay tuned to Mirror Now for more news and updates. We'll be back.